Hello there, spirit having a human experience. That'll come back around later. How you doing? I'm actually doing a Jack of Clubs. We're back to the serendipitous deck pulls. And if you are not aware of what those are, that is a deck that found me card at a time over a bunch of years. And then only at a certain point in my spiritual path did I realize like I have like a whole deck of random individual playing cards. Let's read the energy from each of them. Sometimes I get a location of where I picked it up. Sometimes I actually remember the location. Mostly though, each of them have a lesson that or a reflection about where it is that we collectively are. That is what I've been using them to do. It's what I felt called to use them to do. And so I will start with a channeled message and then went into the card read. And then maybe we'll pull an oracle card at the end. But anyway, this is the energy that I was feeling, so I will just sort of read from what I wrote as I was channeling. It feels like there's a shift within the collective of this will reach about self-concept and self-image. And so I am being called to begin by just like clean your mirror. Clean it as often as you would like, but that is where you literally see your reflection. So as you are changing your story about yourself and your mindset, and then therefore the life that you are allowed to have for yourself, that things that you're allowed to go for, you are allowing yourself to go for the dreams that you're going for, those are different than the person that you were a year ago would have allowed yourself to go for. They're different than the concept of self that laid within you 10 years ago. You are in a major transition of that kind of, and it'll take as many years, months, weeks as it really takes to set in. But cleaning your mirror with the intention, you may speak it out loud, whatever you feel comfortable about, the intention of removing the old self concept. So that you're making way and space for the new to come in. This is something you could do around a full moon. But with, isn't it, Mars being in Cancer and retrograde at that, it's like extra emphasis on an action taken within the sign that is ruled by the moon. And the moon has to do with reflection. It has to do with water. And a lot of our mirrors that we like mostly look at ourselves in are in bathrooms and, you know, cleaning the bathroom, that kind of thing. Actions around water-spaced areas could be helpful in general. But the moon is about reflection. Okay, now, the removal of the old self-concept, turning away from this, yes, who it brought into your life long ago and what it allowed you to expect for yourself. You are re-empowering yourself, and it may feel vulnerable. You may be going through circumstances and end up in positions that are very vulnerable feeling, which may seem counterproductive to empowerment. But it's going to feel now to have such. Oh, I love when I write from a channeled, perspective. Oh yeah, it's going to feel vulnerable to have such an open wound left by the old, by the large old sense of self as it rolls away. Basically what I was feeling was this kind of like, is that the right word? No. Kind of like a massive scab, but like a bulbous, like a big mass that you needed, that grew over something that was a part of yourself, which I'll get to. It wasn't necessarily a wound, but it's like there's these layers and layers and layers of stuff that is no longer necessary to who it is that you have become underneath all of those layers. And now that piece is falling away. And sometimes that skin can be kind of thin after that piece falls away, like you would have with a scab. Anyway, this piece was there to protect you in the past. And it got you to where you are now, and it does deserve love as you leave it behind, as you grieve it, as you bury it, as you allow it to fall away. But it isn't a part of your truest, authentic self. Not anymore. It's only falling away or breaking away because you healed enough underneath. and have grown enough underneath that you don't need that shield anymore, because now you have more internal security and sense of self. But also, you don't need to bury your authentic self because you are finally living as it outside of your, outwardly. It's not something that's being hidden or needs to be hidden anymore. You are resonating that frequency, and you've made space in yourself for your authentic self to be fully heard and given space. Let me get these pages here. And in new relationships, new life circumstances, the things that you have now attracted into your life are beginning to actually reflect your frequency, your truest authentic self frequency, meaning that you don't need to protect the authentic. It has the space to be there. So yay, fuck yeah. And so then I was called to ask to remind you to trust yourself, because though it may feel vulnerable, whatever moment you're moving through, and though you may need to ask for help, which is okay, you and your divine team have gotten you this far. They got you where you are in this moment. You can relax into faith in knowing that you know best for yourself, that you'll be guided towards things that are aligned with your best self or highest good. You can relax into knowing that you have your best interests or highest good interests at heart when you're making decisions. And you'll be steered back to the path again. It takes practice to stay in alignment with that. Sometimes it takes the time that it takes to learn this and to practice it, as life will send challenges to strengthen this ability within you. Okay, and then I held the card, because that was all of the channeled message there specifically. Give me sit here, thank you. So, Jack of Clubs. That has, oh great, light is just washing it out. That, ironically, it is faded. This would have been like red on the back. Yeah, and I guess a deeper blue. But anyway, I felt most called to this card. Yeah, or it was the loudest, whatever. Anyway. And then I felt like from where I knew, because I had the self-image clean your mirror thing come to mind, and I was like, oh, let's dig deeper into that. And then I wrote down that at the top, picked the card, then did the channeled message, and then looked down and was like, oh yeah, one of the royalty cards in this is like a mirror image of itself, so that's kind of perfect. In alignment with all of that. But I held it and there was just so much silence. And not in the way of like, oh, I'm not getting anything yet. In the like, I'll get to describing the silence. But then I got Hermit card. It's a major arcana in the tarot decks, in case you're not aware. It is the number 9. It does resonate with the astrological sign of Sagittarius. And to describe the kind of basic, I guess, Rider-Waite Smith designed art of it, there is a masculine figure holding a lantern in like a full kind of hooded cloak, looking down, looking closed eyes, sort of a deal. Lantern is held out. They're usually in quite an empty space behind themselves, or in like a space that is not heavily populated. There's like no real sign of humans, kind of a thing. They are alone. Okay, Hermit. But it's a card that is about looking inward, inner strength, spiritual journey. There's many meanings to it. Anyway, then what I got from this guy, apart from Hermit, 9, Lantern, was replicated light, internal strength. So all light may cease outside of you, but you know where to look inside to guide your step. Stay lit from within came through as like a complete sentence. So that's for someone. Stay lit from within. And I felt this like quiet encouragement, support. It like, oof, tugged at my heartstrings. There was this like surrounded feeling of safety. I don't know, no exact word is being on it. It just feels like knowing and trust, and you're not alone. they're there. Whoever they is to you, ancestors, angelic beings, spirit team, God, like, they're there, surrounding you always. Many step with you, and only one footprint is left. And then I got, location-wise, wasn't necessarily a place, but it was like a really, really strong sunny day that randomly has like this really heavy kind of, well, relatively heavy rain shower. One that, you know, there's like a lot of laughter in the scene, and like, you know, because it's so warm and it's so sunny and the rain is not going to last long that day, that like the sun is going to dry your clothes anyway. So you just like, there's no worry about it. It's just like bit of rain, and it's almost like fun to dance around in. Shit, like the sun's gonna make it warm afterwards, kind of a vibe. Like I'm looked after here. It's no problem. So strong. Yeah. Okay. And then I got a lot more. I let it just like kind of calm down into like, okay, we've got some images, we've got some random words, that you are aligned with card. Like, what have you to say for yourself? And I got a lot of silence and like quiet, beautiful quiet, comfortable silence. Many loved ones sitting around together, like in a room, in just contentment. There's no need to talk, there's just contentment. And I got this feeling of you feeling how you are even stronger than before, and noticing that. And you should absolutely celebrate that, because you have not been alone in this journey, but it also is happening through and because of you. So give yourself credit. Oh yeah, okay. And then there was also this, like as I was sitting in the quiet, it felt like, I can't explain exactly. I was trying to think what the image was from. It was almost like a seesaw, but it wasn't a seesaw, and like something that's like weighted. Do you know? Oh, yeah. Okay. Do you know one of those things that you held like this, and there was like a ball here, but it's like on a triangular plastic thing, and there was like two, and you go like that, and the like balls move to either side on their little triangle-y things and like snap off each other. Oh, I want one of those. They're fucking satisfying. But it's like that kind of shit is happening around you. Like there's like this chaotic flapping nuts energy, and it's not even like, it's more like it's happening energetically right now. It's happening astrologically. It's happening in our energetic field. You don't necessarily have to actually be surrounded by chaotic people. Hopefully you're not, but maybe you are. We can't always control these things. But regardless, like this was it, and that is you in a sense. This is like you just being like in the center of it, feeling your center, knowing your center, easily staying focused on being centered amongst all of that. There's a lot of acceptance there as well, which is interesting because of what came up, but I'm just like feeling more things as I'm saying this. A lot of acceptance, which is like a very wise place to be, which is definitely why the Hermit is most likely coming out as well. Like these cards that I pull reflect a place at the collective that finds these videos at whatever stage they find them is moving through. Either there are words that are helpful, inspiring, that'd be fucking deadly. But for the most part, it is a reflection of where you're at, what you're moving through. And so when there's one that has energy like this, I just feel so immensely happy for those that are outside of myself. Because of course it's going to be coming through me because I can understand it or speak it in the words that it needs to be spoken for you to hear it. And there's probably a multitude of other places and ways that this message will find you, because the universe does not stop when it is trying to let you know something. It's not going to just like give up. It will find different ways for you to hear it in case that's not translating. Okay, we'll put it through this. We'll put it through that song. Oh, we'll stick it in this movie, or have someone random say it in a shop that you're walking through, whatever it is. I fucking love you. That's deadly. I'm so happy. Okay. Live to love another day was the feeling about it. Like I kind of was just got this like, okay, they're stronger than ever before. is that like a last question to the energy is this like a lifetime lengthed strength? Is this like, oh, forevermore it's going to be easy and there's this strength to come back to? And not that those things are a no, but it was more in the acceptance vibe of being like, it's live to love another day. No things are promised that are a part of the future. No day is promised. You're just here and then you're not, and like, be grateful for the present moment that you're in. Yeah, there was like an ultimate presence feeling in that drawing of like acceptance and presence, and live to love another day, because love is what everything is. It's made of it, you know, reasons to do, to be, or made of what we're made of. Because in life as a human, or in death as a human, there is a feeling of fulfillment right now. Yeah, massive acceptance. And it was definitely something that someone recently said to me in that specific sentence that came through, and it was like, we are not ever really experiencing any of this stuff alone. Even though we're individually experiencing our own journeys, pieces and parts of the collective are moving through the same energy continuously. It unites us. But it's also just that we're not some separate being from everything else. We are one. So we're all feeling a version of what it is everyone else is feeling, and have access to that. Play is sacred was the next thing that came through. Play is sacred, and also trying new things, specifically in the kind of mindset of like, all life is a spiritual act. All living is. No one action is more spiritual than another. It only depends on how present you are to the moment, that you would like notice. That spirit. No, I'm not going further down that sentence. Okay, it only depends on how present you are. And then, I don't think this has happened before with cards as well, but it was like, actually, hey, I have some questions for you, as in for you listening, for me, whatever. What is your current relationship to acceptance? And that's more of a reflective question, because I feel as though from everything else that I've heard, it's for you to reflect and see how massively you have grown in that specific arena compared to how you would have lived before around acceptance, and control being the kind of flip side of acceptance, the shadow side, or the flip side's fine. And then as well, what is your relationship to, or your usage of, or are you using this to your advantage more so? That's the way to say this. The action of zooming out to see the bigger picture, because you don't get that kind of ease and presence in a moment of chaos without a little bit of work in understanding everything that's outside of you as well as what's inside of you. Yeah, so using that to your advantage whenever possible. Because finding one's center seems like such an internal thing, and it has a lot of internal work to do with it. But there's also a recognition of the connection to everything that exists around you and what frequency it's resonating at. And you don't even have to get very detailed with it, but just an acknowledgement of like the all and the you and the connectivity of all of that, and grounding, and a connection to to what's above through your crown chakra. Got an itch there, and I'm like, oh, it feels forgotten in this, because the all is not only what is existing on this earth at this time, but sometimes I try to make it just like a little bit of a zoom in so people don't have to, you know, it's fine. Fine, they can handle it. Okay. Alrighty. Okay, from this very spiritual gateway of light activation deck, I would like a second opinion reflection on what it is that we're moving through as a collective, please. Angels that are here for my highest good, and those who are aligned with this video and here. Oh, hi! excited. This is what happened with the other card. It was 2 actually came out, but like... Star gathering. I'll read and hopefully you'll understand what my reaction is here. Stars aligned, which literally is occurring on the 21st of January in its like most intense state, but the stars, there's been some planets aligning more than we've ever seen in our lifetime in the sky. Remembering home and remembering soul family. I mentioned this in my other reading today about, and just like quickly, how there's a, I don't want to place words on it and have it be misunderstood, but sure, this is the way that I know it. A spirit soul family that you left to come be on Earth. And there's like this home that a lot of us crave and know we are deserving of. Even if we had like a good life or a good family home or good, upbringing or whatever it is, or safe upbringing, I should say, more than good, because good could be misconstrued, but like there's still something more, and it's like possibly maybe it's a subject for another video, but it is what I go to and remember when I've been at a loss for what heaven on earth should feel like, what I'm trying to create here, what I am allowing myself to facilitate in my life, what I would like so badly to allow others around me the space to feel, or to find within themselves within this lifetime, but so that they can then create it outwardly in their life on this planet, so that we can get to, changing some shit around here, in the way that it aligns with our highest good as beings collectively. So that doesn't look like just one thing. To to a mass of people, it would look like different things, but it's not even necessarily the details about what life would look like or should look like or anything. It's more of like the beginning of it is knowing what it feels like, and then like living with that reminder in it. And it just, I don't always have words. I'm hoping, and I know that there are some of you that are going to be able to feel the amount of love that I'm experiencing right now just by witnessing this, and that you've already also experienced it and such, but like, oh my god, do I want for every single being on this planet to know that love. But it's for them to allow for themselves. I've learned that. Okay, the next one is the Akashic Records, which is clearing old stories, releasing past lives, and freedom. And so let us read what this deck has said, as it has absolutely... Oh yeah, and that makes sense. I was kind of assuming that this card would come out right now, but I feel like we've been in this place for a really long time as a collective. The Halls of Amenti initiation, so it's secrets revealed. It's kind of like a vibe of Pluto having moved into Aquarius and like the things that are occurring because of how all of this affects each other. Treasures uncovered and initiations, but it's like a hallway of learning, a duality, a space of oneness, and learning the space that is the between, in balance of accepting the light and the dark. Yeah, okay. Anyway, I'll read these for you. Star gathering. How have I missed it? Oh, here it is. Okay. Also, there is a very, actually this literally looks like a place that, it's kind of a mirror image more so, but like I used to drive between the Dells and this place called Mosier along the Columbia Gorge in Oregon in the US. And when you come on the freeway towards, it's just like, it looks exactly like that landmass. I mean, it's a thing, what do you call it? A, pointed mountainy thing coming into whatever, but that was home for me for a really long time, and so it did resonate very well as far as that. And then there is this like mirroring image, kind of how like a rainbow does if you're over water, or I guess anything if it's reflecting over the water, but because it moves in here and then back out again, it also has the kind of vibe of an 8, which is very Scorpio, transformative energy, happy and okay in the water, in the emotions, in the feeling of change, absolutely not afraid of truth, and digging up the truth. And okay, so there's something powerful about looking up into the midnight sky, seeing the vast openness. We recognize that we are a part, seeing the vast openness, we recognize that we are a part of something that is beyond our understanding. This card brings that feeling directly to us, that feeling of utter connectedness into the stars, where we fall in and out of the dream state and wonder about the meaning of life, the universe, and everything. Star Gathering is a powerful card. It's the energy of home. Before we joined the cycle of life as a human being, we were a part of the cosmos. And that feeling of being connected to the stars is a memory of what we were before. This card reminds us that we have star power and star potential. And we are not the only star in the world. For when we switch on our light, we attract more star energy and even our own star family. The stars have aligned. That's a description of the card. I'll read the message and then I'll read the direction for connecting with it afterwards. The stars have aligned. You have found the lost pieces of yourself and your energy. And now is your time to shine. You are magnetic, attracting people, energies, and opportunities that will allow your dreams to unfold. This is a time of wishes fulfilled. All of your dedication, focus, and dreaming has paid off, and now you can reap the rewards. It's important for you to know that this plane of existence is your rightful place, and not to spend too much time trying to transcend this reality, for you choose to be here at this time. Make the most of this powerful opportunity. If you are feeling particularly connected to certain individuals at this time, it's because you are finding your star family, beings you connected with before you entered the cycle of physical incarnation. And as long as you are connected to yourself, you are home. Damn, that resonates crazy hard with what I had gotten from the Jack. Thank you. Okay, so to connect to that, if you would like, there is a direction here. It's only short, and then I'll move on to the next card. Visualize yourself shining like a star in the heart of the universe. See yourself radiating warmth and light. Let your energy become magnetic and draw more light and other stars to you. Be open to identifying these beings. They are your family. Okay, the Akashic Records one. This is such a fucking beautiful card. Who does the art for this again? Oh, Jennifer Hawkyard. The deck is done by Kyle Gray. That's probably going to be a mirror image. Sorry. I'm using front-facing camera. Okay. Clearing old stories, releasing past lives, and freedom. So, Akasha is a Sanskrit word that means ether or sky-based. And as explained above, the Akashic Records are a compendium of universal events, experiences, and lifetimes held in the spiritual realms. Oh my god, I love this author. Okay, sorry, side note. Helena Blavatsky, one of the founders of Theosophy, described them as indestructible tablets of the astral light. We can visit the Akashic Records in dreams, visions, and meditations. When we are transported or guided to connect with them, we are being given the opportunity to take inventory of our life and of all the events that have taken place in it, and to gain information on lifetimes past. Okay, and the message of this card. When you draw this card, the universe is releasing you from past experiences. These can be soul-based memories, fears from previous lifetimes, or older aspects of this current lifetime that you have moved on from. Know that this is the time to reclaim your freedom and rewrite your story. You can do this now by following through on your dreams. Gone are the days of fear-based indecision. This is the time to rise up and claim your truth. If you are sitting on a dream or are feeling called to move in a particular direction, it's because you have unearthed an important soul lesson, and it is essential for you to follow that call to clear unwanted energies of your past. As you do so, don't allow yourself to be pulled into expecting the worst possible outcome. Know that this expectation is not your truth, but old energy being released from your energetic body. Call in angels to shine their light on any repressed fears or energies or stories that are no longer serving you. It's time to fly high in freedom. Oh, and there's a way to connect with the card. So ask your angels and guides to direct you to the energy of the Akashic records. If you are feeling stuck or unsure, ask the records to reveal to you any essential soul lessons or information so that you can fulfill your purpose during this lifetime. Do that when you feel ready. Celebrate the fact that you have made it to this moment before. I'm adding those bits just based on what we've read here today in other ways. Okay, and then the Halls of Amenti. Initiation. They're a sacred learning space that were energetically transported by Thoth from Atlantis to the spiritual plane before Atlantis came to an end. I'm going to speak more about Atlantis another time. Okay, it is said that the portal to this etheric retreat is energetically connected to the Great Pyramid of Giza. Many believe that the physical remains of this halls can be found there. We don't have to physically visit Egypt to access their energies, though. Okay, and so the meaning of it: you are in a deep initiatory chamber at this time. You might feel that things are heavy and challenging, but know that a reconfiguration is happening. Energetically, though, you are going through an initiation that will allow you to go beyond the fears of the ego and transcend the limitations of the physical realm. In case the imagery helps as well. You might not feel the light is present because you are in the middle of this phase at the moment, but know that it is present within you. Stay lit within yourself. You might be feeling frustrated or overwhelmed, but a lot of this anxiety is actually old energies that were stored in the depths of your body being released so that your vibration can rise. You know, when I felt called to pick a card from my serendipitous deck sermons, and it's been a long time, and since I've recorded one of those specifically, and I've recorded other readings, and I haven't felt in the energy for it, but my it is a pleasure to read for you. Thank you so much for witnessing, for being here, for existing in this timeline, at this time, on this planet. How fucking random and how beautiful. Okay, I will leave you with that. I love you and take care.